right? So for this Tennessee State defense, they're coached by Brendan Fisher, Jeff Fisher's son. He's a defensive coordinator for Eddie George. He's been there since 2021. Now I feel like his defensive strategy and his defensive philosophy is beginning to pay dividends. I saw last year versus Jackson State, their game, and really in a couple other games, especially in the Eastern Washington game, the defense showed a bend, don't break type of attitude, and they're turnover based. Brendan Fraser's best teams at Southern Utah were turnover based, right? Getting a lot of interceptions, takeaways, stopping the ball. Brandon Fisher and what he does on defense usually is cause a lot of ruckus, cause a lot of problems, make it hard for the offense to read the defense. And in his defense now, he has plenty of guys that can switch and alternate positions to really work the best for Tennessee State. We're talking about a couple transfers. We got Jalen Bill, a transfer out of the SWAC, all SWAC, might I add, from Mississippi Valley at defensive line, moving up to Tennessee State to go pair with Terrell Allen, all OVC defensive lineman for Tennessee State. And we're talking about another SWAC linebacker, Moreau Beard from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, moving over to Tennessee State, pairing with Kayvon Pope, another all OVC player. It's kind of a trend here. And even at the defensive back core, you bring back Bryce Phillips, California native, at cornerback, who is an all OVC player, right? Opposite of him is Jayshon Watkins. Jayshon Watkins only got to play 7 games last year. He was injured, couldn't finish the year. He comes back. He had a great season last year, though. This Tennessee State team is primed for a great defensive year. Offensively, with Draylon Ellis, they'll always have a chance. I cannot count out Tennessee State as long as they have Draylon Ellis at the head at quarterback. Now, this weekend, Draylon Ellis actually did not participate in the games. Draylon Ellis right now was held out because of academic reasons. I'm not sure on the details of those, but it did provide a new wrinkle for the Tennessee State spring game. Tennessee State spring game was led by backup quarterbacks. And they did their thing, right? We got to see Heath Will down here do his thing and throw a nice pass to Kanan Adrian. Now, Kanan Adrian, nice receiver, looks to be one of the top guys at Tennessee State going into the fall. A transfer wide receiver out of Blinn College, a junior college. He comes in, and I've heard he's made an instant impact for his Tennessee State team. And to me, Draylon Ellis has needed a go-to guy, and he kind of had it last year with J.J. Holloman. The biggest problem was the offensive line. He didn't have enough time to get the ball out. A lot of times he was getting sacked, or he's like running for his life. So at this point, Coach Eddie George goes, okay, I see that. He's brought in 5 offensive linemen during this recruiting cycle to protect Draylon Ellis, to protect Demetric Crenshaw, to protect Heath. This Tennessee State team seems primed. I really felt like Coach Eddie George may have been ready last year, but this year you retain a lot of players, don't lose many players to transfer portal, and I feel like more and more so guys are buying in. I'd like to give a huge shout out, man, to the Blue Bloods and what he did in interviewing most of the Tennessee State defense. Gave great insight into how they're feeling and how they are digesting this defense from Brendan Fisher. So Tennessee State spring game was very fun nonetheless. Very fun. Great to see it. Got to see a bunch of highlights. The game was actually not streamed, so taking a lot from the notes. Next up, we're going to get into something big.